Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Backyard Beer Brothers. My name's Rory Doherty, and today I've got a pretty interesting beer. It's this one right here, which is called the Cannabis Club Sud, which is a CBD beer. Bought it here in Victoria, so sure it's got to be legal. If you're buying it from like a regular bottle store, it's not like I had to go to a specialty store or meet a guy in the back parking lot of a supermarket or something like that. I actually bought it from Purvis Beer in Richmond. Funnily enough, I actually bought this beer, just came to get in the glass. I bought this beer years ago. So I bought this when I first had the idea of Backyard Beer Brothers. And I thought, you know what, let's get some weird beers. Bought this, forgot about it. It's just been sort of kicking it in the sort of spare room / office. Did a little bit of cleaning, came across it, boom, perfect time to get into it. So she is looking fairly hazy. Definitely a much deeper brown colour, or amber in that case. Small amount of white head. It's got like those traditional sort of lagery smells. Sort of malty. A little sweet, almost sort of leading into the IPA realm. Definitely smells like there's some... don't know if it's sort of the hops. I read a couple of reviews. People say it's sort of got a herby taste to it, so it could be the CBD, hemp, whatever. But it actually sort of reminds me of drinking in sort of old pubs in New Zealand. I sort of got that... I wouldn't say stale beer smell, because that sounds gross. But I'm intrigued. It smells alright. Looks pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers. Let's roll. Whoa. It's definitely got like a fuller body, a thicker mouthfeel than I thought it was going to have. Wow. It is super smooth. I wonder what style of beer they're actually going for here. I can't read it because none of the back is in English. So I may as well tell you a little bit about the beer while I'm looking at the bottle. So this particular beer is in a 330ml bottle, 4.9%. It comes from Germany, and I'm not even going to attempt to say the brewery where it's from, but if you're wanting to sort of see why, if you look down in the title of this, it'll have the brewery and the beer. That's why I'm not trying to pretend I know how to say it. But a score on Untappd, this is coming in at 2.67. The smell is like... It smells like it's going to be a beer that I'm familiar with, but the taste is just not... Okay, well, I've sort of skipped some of the taste here. So what am I tasting? It is grainy. There is a small amount of bitterness in the back end from the hops or the cannabis. But it has like this sweetness that I don't really like. It actually reminds me of one of the beers that Swilling Grog sent me. I can't remember. It was one of the South American beers. I don't think it was the Bra. I can't remember what it's called. But it's sort of in between that and a lager. Like, that was hella sweet. This is sweet. And I'm starting to lean towards not liking it. Well, no. So usually if you've got a IPA, the bitterness that sort of hangs around, I quite like. Whereas this has like a sharper, not sort of rounded bitterness that actually is quite gross. But like the main thing is that this has, you know, probably should have kept it chilled really, but it's, what does it say here? Aspen Liquor Supplier Wholesales up in Queensland, 1.3 standard drinks, product of Germany. Best before C, end of label. I think it's got a best before date of the 3rd of the 8th, 2021. So it's only sort of 3 years out of date. I read that I might not have drunk it. And I think that let's just chalk up the fact that it doesn't taste the best due to the fact that it's miles past its due date. As well as that, you know, the sort of Melbourne summers can be quite brutal and our house gets hella hot. So this has just been sitting on a shelf, high temperatures during summer, low temperatures during winter. What am I talking about? In Melbourne, the weather changes on a daily basis or hourly basis. So it's had hot and cold temperatures on and off day after day for years past its due by date. Probably why it tastes kind of crap. As well as that though, Untapped, there are thousands of people that have reviewed this beer and a score of 2.67, probably about right. So weird. It smells like a beer, doesn't taste like a beer, and it's throwing me off. Every time I go to have a sip, it smells better than it tastes. Weird beer for sure. Anyway, okay, to the question. Would I buy it again? I would be kind of interested to see what it tastes like fresh and not so out of date. Kind of gross, but I suppose still drinkable, obviously, because we finished it. On tap, that would be crazy if you saw this on tap, right? Where are you going to see a CBD beer on tap? I suppose if weed became legal, that could be the next thing you would see in bars. Buy it as a gift. You know, if we went back to my early 20s when I was a stoner, I had heaps of stoner mates, and hell yeah, this would be the perfect gift. As far as stoner mates are concerned, they're sort of slim pickings now. So maybe not a gift for anyone. Actually, I've probably got some cousins that would be keen for this for sure. And some of the bros back in New Zealand. Is it scullable? Yeah, I think it's scullable. What would I give it? I think I'd probably... This one in particular, I'd give a 5. It is average. It is average. Smells good, looks alright, doesn't taste the best. 5 out of 10. Fair. Well, with that being said, the beer's done, so it looks like we're at the end of the episode. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and please feel free to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and as always, I hope you have a good one. Cheers.